Sonic Beats.
Yeah, I know the last time we were talking about some wrestling.
Yes, we were discussing
And
AEW's
no, we were
success.
not.
We started off.
You tried to, but you said you wanted to pick up that conversation because you've been doing some research on it, or what have you been doing?
So I've been doing some research because last week I felt like I was making claims that were completely unfounded. Well, I wasn't making claims. I was making claims for a community of people, which actually is probably worse.
I was about to say.
So I did some homework about why Hulk Hogan is a somewhat controversial figure now in the wrestling community, not to the broader public, okay? Because I'd seen things, like I'd seen a lot of jokes at his expense and a lot of like verbal whatevers, but I really did not do my due diligence.
So the wrestling community, are you talking like, is
like
this
on
a
Reddit
a
or
Reddit?
like,
I was about
like
to say,
Twitter,
is this a Reddit?
Twitter. No, I don't know how far that extends. I really have no idea.
Internet's
But
vast.
the fan base did sour on him a little bit, and I will tell you why. So I found this article with a lot of garbage on it. Not a lot of good stuff on here, really.
Okay.
But there are a few things.
You should use that for context. Then
Yes,
you
yes.
should say, "Hey, I have this article with a bunch of trash on it, but I'm going to get some stuff from it."
It's titled "Hulk Hogan's Scandals That Nearly Ruined His Career." Okay, and it actually offers like a comprehensive look at parts of his life. However, most of them are like, no one really talks about those, right? However, it does contain the pieces of information that are.
Are you talking about the time Hulk Hogan did Thunder in Paradise on the USA Network? No. Or No Holds Barred with Zeus?
No. So one of them...
Or Suburban Commando with Christopher Lloyd?
I don't think the reason the
Doc
WWE
Brown?
fans are sour on Hulk Hogan for this reason. But for one thing, he was facing up to 8 years in prison in the 80s for the steroid trial. So he was distributing the steroids, which I'm aware of, and you probably are aware of because you were way around before I was.
You're bringing stuff from the 80s? Are we canceling Hulk Hogan for the stuff in the 80s?
I am telling you why people are sour on Hulk. This is not me.
No, this is
not me, okay?
This is what you're doing.
Very clear.
You are talking about stuff that happened 40 years ago almost.
No.
You're talking about stuff that happened almost 40 years ago, and you have done research because you were, a little butthurt about the conversation?
No, not at all. No, I'm just here to inform. I am purely here to inform.
You're not informing.
I am. Next. A reason, and there's a reason this one's more niche.
Okay,
complaint.
so steroids in the 80s, because no one did those. No one did those in the 80s.
Well, Bo, he was selling them.
What, selling them to Ivan Drago
I think
and
it's
like Rocky IV? What are you talking about?
Funny because there's some good stuff on here, like his failed presidential election run.
And
I was like, "What? Really? That's something we're going to
Have you ever watched wrestling in the later 80s, early 90s?
They're all doing steroids.
They were juiced up, man.
I totally agree. But the one that like more of a niche audience actually don't appreciate is
because the niche audience.
Hulk Hogan admitted in an interview that he was holding down other wrestlers, and what I mean by that is that he was basically, he wanted to do what every other wrestler did, was he wanted the spotlight, right? Because he's Hulk Hogan. Why wouldn't you want the spot? I mean, that guy was the reason that WWE was so successful.
He's like the number one wrestler of all time.
But
him
he did admit that he would keep other guys from getting a push because he wanted the main event, like and a lot of they're not fans of that, like, because wrestlers talked about wrestling community. I don't know if this is actually legitimate or everyone puts up a front nowadays, but they talk about how generous they are and how they're willing to put other people over. Like, people admire John Cena for putting over younger talent when he was on his way out.
All right, we don't need to go into like the minutia of who's putting people over the top.
I'm telling you, this is a reason why more of a what's the proper word? Wrestling fanboys aren't huge fans of Hulk Hogan.
So let me ask you,
because they see him as more like self. Like, there's actually an active meme right now. Like, that's not going to work for me, brother.
Should like, let's say, when Patrick Mahomes was a rookie, should Alex Smith have put Patrick Mahomes over and let him take his job? Or what are you looking for here?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the niche. The niche has a problem.
See, the broader public has no idea about this. Like, it's not well known, I don't think it's
cares.
super. No, exactly, they don't.
It's
become more of a meme now. Like you'll see that in a lot of wrestling posts.
I feel like you have to have something juicy. Let's get to the juicy stuff of why people don't like
the big reason. All right, the big reason is because in 2015 WWE fired him. Because they brought him in like to the Hall of Fame. He was doing a lot of guest appearances. Mm-hmm. They fired him for very racist remarks on camera. What was it? What
it wasn't a wrestling bit.
No.
What did he say?
Let's see. He admitted it in 2015 because he got caught. He was signed with WWE, stripped from the Hall of Fame. It was WWE stripped him because it was that bad. They're not.
So did they release it? What was it?
Let's take a look.
Well, you don't say
Jamie,
it.
pull it up. Jamie, pull it up. We're looking at Hulk Hogan's racist rant right now. And this was like big, see, like CNN, Hulk Hogan heard saying the N-word on tape, like in 2016. Oh, wow. Okay, so he said this. This is from a leaked sex tape.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack here. There's so much to unpack here. It is absurd. It was a hot mic.
Okay.
It was a hot mic.
So basically people are after him because he made a racial slur on a sex tape. Is that
no? It wasn't a consensually. He didn't know the sex tape.
Well, no, I didn't say that he did, but like that's what happened. So someone released a private video that he created, and on that video he made a racial slur.
Well, actually, no. What was it? Okay, so it looked like there was a libel case, and it got brought up in court. There's so much going into this. Yep.
You reading it doesn't help with what.
I can't read it.
Oh
really.
No, is everyone getting that? Everyone getting what he's looking at?
So essentially, he said that. He said, I am a racist. He said that right there. He said, the newly unemployed Hogan, who has since described the outburst, in which he said, I am a racist, to a point, and then he proceeds to say some slurs that I will not say out loud. The recording is from tapes at the center of a $100 million libel case Hogan brought against, I don't know who Gawker is. What is Gawker?
It's like I believe it's a news organization, maybe.
He sued for them invading his privacy. So there's clearly a legal battle here over the tape being leaked, which, fair. But basically, he got canceled for saying racist remarks.
Not in my heart.
But
I still remember when he. Man, this takes on a whole new connotation of when he beat Zeus and then cut Scary Sherry's hair.
Right.
Because is he misogynist too, I imagine?
Well, there is a theory. You'll actually laugh at this one. That Brock Lesnar is racist. And there's no proof for it, but here's why. You ready? Because he has... This is a very funny WWE statistic I'm about to drop on you. Brock Lesnar has beaten every single black WWE champion ever. Now that's mostly no one really actually believes that, but you
coming on this podcast,
it's hilarious.
You call out Hogan last week. You call out Brock this week.
No, I love Brock. Brock's all that's all Vince. Brock Lesnar does not book. Brock Lesnar does not book. He has no saying power.
What kind of wrestling lingo are you dropping on me? What does it mean he doesn't book?
He's not a booker. Like Vince McMahon is the head booker. Like he plans the storylines. He doesn't book. He's the one who books all the wrestlers. That's like just a shorthand for having the creative and narrative power over the brand.
So
It's like Triple H is head booker right now.
Yeah, he doesn't book Brock. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying Brock doesn't book. He doesn't make any plans. He doesn't do any of the storyline. That's all like Vince and Triple H and them. But,
gotcha.
But no, it's just fun little wrestling stuff that don't really matter. But it's a lot of fun to talk about. It gets you all riled up. I think it's funny.
Is there anything you want to talk about? Jake the Snake or the $1 Million Man?
Interestingly enough, Jake the Snake's been on AEW. Jake the Snake.
Hey man, no, there was a movie released, I think in late '90s or in the '90s sometimes. It was called like Beyond the Mat, and it had like him, Foley, and it was just following around wrestlers like on their off time.
Oh really?
And then it had some like behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was nuts though. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, have you watched Dark Side of the Ring? A couple episodes of that.
No, I don't believe it.
Oh, it's on Vice, and they've done 3 seasons, and it's basically the stories that they don't tell you, and they got to get the wrestlers to sign contracts to talk about it and stuff. But one of them was called The Plane Ride from Hell, and essentially it was all this crazy stuff that happened on this plane from one WWE show to another, I believe. And there was a story about how Brock fought like JBL, and they slam each other up against the plane. And
I'm gonna stop you. I feel like you're going off on the deep end.
It's crazy, man. Ric Flair flashed himself in front of a bunch of waitresses, man.
I don't know who JBL is.
Oh, it's Bradshaw. He was, he was around in the early 2000s.
Okay, but I wouldn't know him as JBL.
Sorry, I apologize.
All right, it feels like like there's times you're talking to me as though I'm an avid current wrestling fan, and my heyday was 90s and early 2000s.
The point wasn't the name. The point was that they fought each other drunkenly and coked up on an airplane, and they were bashing each other against the side of the plane and almost ripped open the door.
Yeah, dude. Wrestlers do crazy stuff.
Dude, it's awesome though. But they got some good episodes in there.
Do you watch wrestling, or do you just watch the behind the scenes stuff?
Dude, the behind the scenes stuff is better. It's almost just as good. 100%. Like apparently the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan feud with Miss Elizabeth was not entirely storyline.
No, that's 100%. That's 100%.
I didn't know that. See, I watched Dark Side of the Ring, and apparently that was bled over a little bit in real life.
There's some great, like if you go online, you can find some great, like before Macho Man passed, you can find like interviews that he's going off on Hogan and like real deal stuff. And it was it's crazy times. Like those stories that are coming out now, like you have cats on there, like old cats like The Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
And just people kind of go. I saw Booker T talk about some cool stuff, and
Kurt Angle has some good stories. Kurt Angle has some great stories.
Yeah. No, Kurt Angle. I watched an interview with Kurt Angle on
John Bernthal.
That was a great interview. Thanks, John. Thanks, Kurt. That was really good. That was
so good.
Dude, John Bernthal awesome.
Can we just have an episode devoted to John Bernthal?
Why do you want to keep devoting episodes to one individual?
Dude, John Bernthal plays the same character in everything he's in, and by God, we need to talk about that.
You hold your mouth about John Bernthal. That guy is a nuanced, established actor who is...
I love him.
Absolute gold, and his portrayal of the Punisher is next level.
No one can
next
beat it.
level.
That's why they're recasting.
But the thing is, I've been a huge fan of John Bernthal for a long time. That guy's awesome. Awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great. My favorite thing. One of my favorite.
Why do you try to degrade him for?
No, he definitely plays the same character though in everything he's in.
How dare you?
But
how dare you?
I love him for it. I don't want him to change.
That man is an artiste, an established actor, and
he's great. I love him.
From what I know, a decent human being. How dare you?
He seems very real. But I think it's funny how in every role you can hear him say, "Let me tell you something."
I thought it was crazy. That he married Kurt Angle's niece.
That was wild.
And
two of my favorite people, family.
People you don't know, but yes.
Yeah. People I've never met in my life who have no idea I exist.
No, it's a great interview. Kurt Angle goes in, just really, really crazy stuff. I was like, man, that's fantastic. But yeah, John Bernthal, Punisher, and Kurt Angle. WWE wrestler, Olympic medalist, American hero.
Intensity, integrity, intelligence.
Yeah, sitting down, having a good chat. All right.
It's a good time, man. We should go watch that.
All right. I'm done talking about wrestling with you.
All right.
We're moving on.
Let's go to break.